Hi, friends. Today we're going to go over the court system in just a little bit more detail because I've had a question come up a few times in some of the comments on how do you determine partisanship of judges in elections that are nonpartisan? That's a really good question and kind of a tricky one to answer as well. A lot of times it's really hard to find that information because the whole point of a nonpartisan election is to not have a party. So often you won't find something that says, John Smith is a Republican or a Democrat. You kind of have to make a educated guess a lot of the times. Sometimes a judge is appointed, even though the position is technically elected, to fill a vacancy until a special election or whatever the process is for that position in that specific state is. And so, if the governor is appointing a judge to fill a vacancy, usually they'll appoint a judge that's within their political party. So it's that can be one strategy on determining what the likely partisanship is. Sometimes you'll just have to do a little Google searching in finding news articles about a judge's election, and maybe it's about a donor donated a bunch of money, and that donor is known to be a very conservative or a devout liberal. So you can kind of make a best guess that the judge is likely of the same like-minded mindset. So I'm going to go over a few tools in Ballotpedia that can help you with this. Even though there's really no one, if it's a nonpartisan election, it's really challenging to find that aha, this judge is a Republican or this judge is a Democrat. So we'll go back to the main menu and government drop down and go to state government. And it'll give us a table of all the states and their branches of government. And so we'll go to the state courts. And the random state we will pick today is, how about North Dakota? So, like every Ballotpedia entry, they will give you links that you can go directly to the court level that you're interested in. One thing I find really helpful, because some state systems are complicated when it comes to their court system. Not every state has the same system. A lot of states are very similar, but some throw curveballs at you. And so it's really nice to see visually how their state system flows from the different jurisdictions and how a case will go from their lower court to their top court. It'll also give you the selection process for the different courts. Even though we're going to be talking about local judges, it'll give you a summary of the federal ones who appointed them, which will usually tell you that their political party, the party of the president, and if he's appointing a federal judge, usually indicates that that judge is known to be in that party as well. So then they'll go into from their top courts work their way down to their lower courts as you scroll down into the state's entry. So then you can click on different names that will give you a biography. Let's look at the more local courts. So, and then it'll give you the county jurisdictions. So let's try Fargo since that's kind of a famous one. And so it'll give you a brief summary and biography of the county itself, a map to see where it is in relationship to the whole state, and then all the judges that are a part of that district. So I didn't practice this beforehand, so I don't know what's going to come out. So this judge in the North Dakota East Central Judicial District is the current office holder, and it'll give you a brief biography of the different, colleges he went to and different law degrees, a brief personal biography and his career, different elections that he faced, and primary elections. So, and then it'll also give you external links that might be helpful, usually to their district court website, to their case results. So that can be really helpful in determining some of the partisanship. Also, it might say that the judge is part of the Federalist Society, or they are a part of a more partisan judiciary. I guess you'd call it club, or you know fraternity type organization. That can be a real good indicator to determine their political leanings. So, right here, it doesn't say, Democrat or Republican. You can, usually infer that they are, their party by lots of different morsels that you'll find. Let's go back one. Look at one more. I don't know who Wade Webb is, but we'll. So this one didn't have nearly as much information on it, but it has enough of a biography that you can at least see where he went to school. And it gives you different links to find out more about him and whatnot. So then, if I was trying to find out this guy's political party, I would probably turn to Google, or maybe if I could find any of his donors on websites like Open Secrets, or in their state might have um, you know donation rules to find out who donates to these campaigns. So those are just a couple of strategies of finding real local judges that may not have the national presence where they'll have these huge biographies about them. One thing I wanted to go over, another tool of Ballotpedia is, and I'll have to bring this a little bit into the wide mode because you can't see it in mobile mode. So at the bottom, let me adjust this. As I mentioned in some of my other videos, Ballotpedia does a lot of studies on different elements of elections and state politics. And one of these happens to be that they did was on state Supreme Court partisanship. And you can find the links to that as long as with some of their other analyses that they've published. Um, okay, let me get this back into mobile mode as best as I can. Okay, so this is the study that they did. They have some, just summaries on their website. You can download the PDF to read the entire thing. Which, as far as studies go, this is one of the, better, more interesting ones, because Ballotpedia is a little bit better at turning very dry data into visualizations, and kind of tells you what it means, and the importance of it. But I'll just scroll down a little bit so you can get a sense on the point of the report, some of the highlights. And this is really what I wanted to get at, was the confidence scores that they give. So for state Supreme Court judges, um, often you might find a confidence score from their study, which will say they're likely Republican, likely Democrat. But unfortunately, they only did it for a sampling of their study. So you may or may not get lucky on these. I'll click on the confidence scores just so you can see what the entry is about. Um, and they'll tell you in some of their highlights who received the highest confidence scores, um, which types of judges won different, confidence ratings, some of the conflicting information on some of the data. So this can help with also determining, um, partisanship on some level. Um, like I mentioned, unfortunately, sometimes it's just not that easy to find something that says in big bold lights, they're a Republican or a Democrat. So I hope this helped in determining partisanship. If you have any more questions on this, I'll do my best to answer in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will be back with another video. Take care, friends. Bye.